Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on the Tuesday the 19th of September. Crikey, time flies, isn't it? Anyway, so looking at these markets this morning, I went through the potential news events yesterday, and they're having their effect on the markets for sure before they even come. There's a lot of toing and throwing about what's going to be happening on Wednesday, Thursdays. We've got the different central banks releasing. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday actually. So three there to go for. But we're starting off then today. We actually do have a bit of data coming out this morning. We've got the inflation data for Canada. We've had the monetary policy minutes for Australia. That's already out, and that's washed through into the market. Tomorrow we've of course got the FOMC, and this is possibly what's stalling things. When we look at some of these markets, they look a bit sort of flatter, but anyway, we'll run through that in a moment. But this is the biggie, and it sits there tomorrow. And if you're trading the pound, well, of course we've got the Bank of England meeting on Thursday, and if you're looking out for the Japanese yen, got that Friday. So let's look at the technicals, and I was measuring with a bit of a greater expectation than that's actually happened, to see where this flaggy pattern has gone. We had the flagpole there, had a bit of a flag, but it's since then broken up further and had a bit of a rush there. So it's really spoilt what was breaking down to be promising to be a flag yesterday morning. It just went too long. It just went for too long relative to the flagpole, effectively. Anyway, it's still in this rising trend now. That's where it sits. I could see these markets remaining relatively choppy over the next couple of days, particularly taking into account FOMC. So, that's driven by the FOMC meeting there. Traders don't really want to be getting into positions either way at the moment. It's almost like a foregone conclusion that they'll probably increase rates one last time, and that'll be it. Leave rates alone this time and increase them next time. That's what it. Oh no, it's changing back and forth a bit, but there is this. They'll leave it this time and probably have one more increase. But we do have the dot plot this time, so the dot plot shows us where the different members actually believe interest rates to be in the future. So it has a little bit more of a sway, this particular meeting. Anyway, moving aside to that, the pound dollar. The pound's not moving particularly wonderfully here either. Same nice breakdown yesterday morning, only to retrace and run, and it's sitting in this consolidating mode. No real guessing where it's going to go. It just could remain in this consolidation mode for a day or so. It does. When you're looking at this 4-hourly picture, I do expect further downside. Technically, that's where the pattern's showing us, but things can change pretty quickly. Dollar yen, the yen soft this morning against the dollar. Dollar's pushed up here. We've had probably a cleaner market here relatively. Well, perhaps not that clean actually. Looking at yesterday, it did chop for most of the day, then dropped through the Asian session here, but pushing up at the moment at least. It has a ceiling to this potentially with the threats of central bank intervention, etc. So as much as technically it looks okay for the upside, and we've got this all these highs here, we could see a break of these highs. We'll have to see what comes of this, but technically it should shove up there. Aussie dollar, Aussie dollar in the dailies here, not really doing too much at the moment. It's just sliding off a little. Just again consolidated, same old as we run through there, and look at it from a daily perspective. It dropped off yesterday. This got the closest to running off and doing something more significant yesterday afternoon, but all the same, it's choppy when it starts getting like this. The markets are just best avoided. US dollar CAD, I mean, even the best of setups at the moment can be spoiled. US dollar CAD is southbound, technically lower highs coming through there, and well, yeah, it's the Canadian dollar hanging in there stronger than the US dollar at the moment, effectively. New Zealand dollar just chopping. There we go, just chopping sideways. No real. If you can make head and a tail of that, you'd be lucky. Where it's going to go, it's non-tradable. So what I've basically done is that I've led you through all these majors and shown you all the things that, well, there's some trending trades. I mean, if you've got some wide stops, you're fine. If you're going to be sitting trying to day trade this, there's a hell of a lot more risk over the next few days. So dollar Swissy, dollar gaining against the Swissy here, but it's slow, and well, if you've got patience, I mean, look at the sort of big retracements during the daytime there. Again, best avoided. Possibly slightly cleaner. Looks like something might be setting up here for a move to the upside, but I don't know how much you can trust it with the price action as it is, and the markets as they are, I should say. But it's just on the cusp of breaking this prior high. It's confirmed a higher low there. Looks like it's got some scope to push on further, yeah, it's just pulling back in within range at the moment as I speak. So yeah, the market's pretty similar across. There are a couple of movers. This Euro CAD looks like it's got a bit more scope potentially to continue on. Looking for the downside. It's already started moving this morning though. This is another one I was looking at in terms of potential downside. Well, that also moved down yesterday afternoon, only to bounce quite quickly, but it is heading southbound at the moment, Euro CAD, and we could see the euro selling a little bit more if the CAD remains strong. It's just not the place where I want to get into a trade at the moment. There's no real setup for me, but if your strategy shows you a setup, or possibly is something there, pound Aussie, pound CAD, well, pound Aussie just sideways, pound CAD also drifting off there. Canadian dollar seeming to be the strongest out there at the stage. Okay, let's hit with the majors. The major crosses is to say it's the same old story across the board. Looking at gold, just come out and looking at gold. Gold, well, managed to push on through yesterday, selling off at the moment. I was looking at the, I'll come back to it. I was looking at the monthly pivot here. It's just come down on this time here. It moved into it quite nicely. I wondered if we was going to get a bit more of a retrace before the break, because you can see what's going on there. It would have been quite a nice clean head and shoulders, but it's already broken. Maybe we'll see a bounce here, but like everything else, we could just be in the world of chop. Crude. Actually, I'm going to go on to Brent, because it seems to be more of the headline market at the moment. I'm going to have to come out to the weekly so I can show you where it is relative to where it's been, and you look at the next key point of resistance sits around about $98 on here. Now each broker etc puts their own price levels on here, so it might be slightly different on your broker, but just look for these prior highs here, see where they're sitting, and you'll get an idea of the potential. But it's down at 94 down. Yeah, it's drifting at the moment. Generally it's an afternoon trade for me. Yesterday it just gone into chop, potentially still chop today, but it seems to be a story of these markets. S&Ps, it's just a quick look at the northern markets here, North American markets. Well, again, chopping along there, inside bars, 2 inside bars so far. Wouldn't be surprised if we see more. It is consolidating around a low here, which could suggest further downside for now, but there's an extreme risk through these markets. If you go through the Dow and the Nasdaq pretty much following suit. The DAX having a bit of a hard time, but it's not really showing it massively. We just have a red green, red green, red green. We've got a red at the moment. On the dailies there, quite choppy. As you can drill down the time frames, closing towards the lows here. Will we get another bounce? Will it range trade further? Is a possibility there, but it is pretty messy there. Would much prefer some decent direction and trend. Finally, the FTSE's been pretty much the darling. It broke through yesterday. It was solid all day up yesterday, but coming off at the moment now. It was obviously a sort of flaggy pattern here. Just to see if we catch the bounce off this weekly pivot. There's potential upside, although it could well be slow. I mean, it was quite a slow old day yesterday, and it's put the lower highs and it's put all the signs of weakness in there at this stage. Right, the Bank of England is expected to increase rates again this week, so that's priced into these markets. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I wish you a great day's trading, and I'll catch you tomorrow morning. Bye for now.